The song of the tree of Gernika talks about grow and spread your roots, and so Boise is a place where certainly there are strong roots and branches from this tree that go back to the old country.
A trip to the Basque block will teach you about the connection between Boise and its sister city of Gernika, the small town in the Basque province of the Basque country. The tree in front of the Uberaga boarding house is a sapling from that original oak from Gernika, which was planted in 1988. About 80% of the Basque population of Idaho and Oregon, they can all trace their roots to about a 30-mile radius of Gernika. So there's a strong connection. There's also a lasting legacy of horror for this place. On this day, 86 years ago, Gernika, Boise's sister city, was under attack in one of northern Spain's worst atrocities ever.
Today, the city of Gernika is much like any other in the Basque region, where history crosses paths with the modern era. But this day, April 26th, is different here. Every year at 3:45 in the afternoon, a siren blares, the church bells ring, and people stop to remember the siege of Gernika by German and Italian bombs.
It was a Monday in April 1937, a day usually set aside for Market Day. And back then, they would hold the market here in this plaza where this is now. But given that there was a war going on and a front was only 15 miles away, the town's leaders decided to postpone the market and the handball game scheduled for that afternoon.
It was 4:30.
4:30.
That's when the bombing started.
Arancha Bastarachea grew up in Gernika. She says the planes, part of Germany's Condor Legion, came up the river from the north.
They started off with blast bombs, the first stage. The second stage were incendiary bombs, and while at the same time they were machine gunning the population. Whoever could ran off into the nearby countryside, hiding in ditches, hiding wherever they could.
One of those that was able to run was Mari Carmen Todorica. She was 5 years old.
So my 11-month-old brother, my mother, and myself, we had to get out of the house. And I remember, I do remember, like the bells ring, churches and some siren or something too, but oh, well, and my mother said, let's go. Where are we going? You just follow me, let's go.
Mari Carmen says they headed for the hills outside of town and hid under a chestnut tree. From there, they watched the 50 or so planes return in waves.
And they throw something there, and the dirt came out. And I said to mother, what happened? Don't look. People, they were killed, like about a dozen or something.
For 3 hours, Mari Carmen waited out the deluge, silent and still as her legs cramped under that tree.
I say, well, pray, pray. I say, what can I do? Pray. Well, and then I pray and say, I already prayed, pray more. How much I had to pray? Pray until I tell you.
When the praying and bombing finally stopped, more than 70% of the town was destroyed. Historians say the death toll was hard to determine, but estimates range in the hundreds. Luckily, none of Mari Carmen's family was one of them.
Later on, what I hear from my mother says, well, okay. We lose everything, the store, the house, everything, only with the clothing that we have ourselves, but at least we have daddy, and we'll make it.
The town ultimately survived too, but the story that Gernika was a military objective was never believed by the Basque people.
The objective was really just trying out new war tactics, which was terrorizing the population by machine gunning it.
That's why remembering remains so important for the people of Gernika. Forgiveness is always possible, but forgetting is not.
Mari Carmen Todorica, who is still with us, by the way, she's told her story so many times she can't remember. But up until about 20 years ago, she also told us the bombing wasn't really anything survivors spoke about, especially right after it happened. The attack is one of the subject of one of Pablo Picasso's famous paintings, by the way, which he completed in 1937.